Right, hello and welcome back to the channel. Brand new video. I'm Matt, this is Harry, this is Twigs T4, and today we're just going to go through the wiring and fitting on a new stereo in the Mark IV Golf. So at the moment I've currently got an Alpine in there. We're going to rip that out. Now I had a few little problems. I actually wired up the head unit wrong. So all of you people with a VW and you've plugged in your head unit, you've plugged in those ISOs, you've wired up your sub and your amp, and then you get a flat battery and you're like, why have I got a flat battery? Well then, this is the video for you, because I'm going to show you in a minute why you end up with a flat battery. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this head unit out, and it's the Alpine head unit that I got. It's the IVE W560, and the reason why I'm replacing this head unit, because the screen just decided to start playing silly buggers yesterday, and don't matter where you touch it, it just does its own thing. So the touchscreen on that is gone. And to be fair, that stereo come with the van, and it was free stereo. It was in the van, and I've had the van 7 years, so it's an old stereo. So what we have got, we've just got ourselves a bargain from Halfords. We went down there, and they've done us a JVC for nice little JVC. A bit like the Sony. I was actually going there to get the Sony, and then they had this one on offer, $89.99 as a clearance, last one that they had. So I was just like, mate, it's 70 quid cheaper, I think it was, than the Sony. I'm not too fussed, it's just cheap and cheerful, and it's just to go in here, and it's a double din. Doesn't have to have CarPlay, not fussed about that. But what we're going to do is we're going to get the head unit out. I'll turn you around, you can see that, and I'll show you this wire of the wire that you need to cut, so that you don't get a battery drain. Right, let's have a look. Right, so in behind the head unit here, you can get it all out. So you've got your remote for your amp. Well, all you've got to do is, oh no, this block is actually getting replaced in a minute. This was only a temporary thing. I have actually just bought a soldering iron from Lidl's, which was 17 quid, which I'm going to actually test to solder these up. So you just don't connect it to the car. So where it goes to the ISO, that blue white there, and the blue white there, the remote, usually you just feed it in. But on Volkswagens, if you feed that in and keep it like that, it will just drain your battery, because I never realised, I never looked, I just connected them. But then when you look and you chase the wire back, it goes to a red and white, which is a permanent live. So what happens is you connect this remote up and you end up just connecting it to a permanent live, and your sub is on all the time, and before you know it, in a couple of days you're going to have a flat battery, which is what happened to me. So I cut that temporarily, and then noticed the stereo was playing silly buggers, so we went to Halfords and we got this cheap one. So I guess we're just going to unplug this and plug the new one in, and we'll go from there. So this is the little soldering iron that I got from Lidl's. 17 quid, and I took it round to Harry's old man, Matt Jordan from JVS, and he had a look at it and he said, yeah, that's all right for 17 quid. So it comes with a little refill gas bottle, and what we need to do is we need to use this little soldering iron so we can test it out, because I'm actually going to solder the remote amp wire for the ISO plug. So this plug here that plugs in, it's a blue and white wire in there, and that's the wire that I need to snip. And then I'm going to snip that wire, weld, it's basically welding, solder that one in, but then obviously make sure that it's not connected to the car, because that will be a remote permanent feed rather than the remote amp wire. And then we'll test the soldering iron and solder them across and see how it works out. Looks quite straightforward and quite simple. Happy days. Right, well, I've just used this soldering iron, Parkside from Lidl's, £17 bargains, and I'll tell you what, it's done the job. It's worked. Happy days. Don't touch it because it gets bloody hot. I just done that. Well, it has cooled down, but it's still hot. Yeah, I just wanted this. Yeah, being stupid. Put my fingers in hot places. Putting your fingers in places that you shouldn't. Right, so if we have a look down here at the wiring loom, what you can see is the remote now comes in. I've just soldered it onto the blue and white there, that remote. And then the other end, that's all just been taped up. The ISO plugs are all plugged in now. And then all I've got to do now is connect this into the back of the stereo. Obviously I've got that dodgy aerial connection here because I've had to, the aerials on the back of the Volkswagens, they have a different connection as well, so I've had to get this weird converter in there. But that's it, I've got the sub plugged in now. And now we just plug the stereo in and hope that it works. So there we go. I'll put the cage in's nice and tight. So it's to get all the wiring in properly, I'm going to take the glove box out in a minute. But this is purely just to test. Some keys down here somewhere. Just to test it. Let's test it. Test in 1, 2. Let's turn that off. Cancel demo. Press knob. Wait a minute. No, I pressed my knob, nothing happened. I hold the knob on the head unit. Ooh. Muting. No, we're not going to get much of a signal, I don't think. No. Oh, it's a CD player as well. Oh, I didn't know that. I don't have CDs. Well, what we're going to have to do is, it's not going to find any aerial, because this aerials are rubbish. So it's actually been about a week since I installed the head unit. I've actually eliminated that VW antenna adapter that I had in the back there. I've cut it off and I've soldered in a new proper antenna, a universal one, which will actually go straight into the back of this head unit. And as you can see now, the stereo and the radio is now working and it's really, really good quality. Also, you can see I've got a little, the aux wire in there because this head unit, because it is so cheap and so basic, it doesn't have Bluetooth. So I'm just playing my tunes through the aux, and that's absolutely fine. It does have a USB as well. But for a cheap and cheerful stereo, for a decent, half decent head unit, I mean, it works. It's good. I'm happy with that. And also, something else that I like about it is the position of where it is. That volume knob. I do like that round knob where you can turn it round, left and right, up and down, and you can just fine tune it while you're driving. And you don't even have to take your eyes off the road. So I do like that about this head unit. However, I do have another head unit that I've just bought. And I actually went to see Matt from JVS Auto Electrics. He's actually sorted me out a CarPlay stereo to go into the T4. So we'll actually be doing that next time. We'll be putting the original vents back in, and then we'll be putting a double din head unit in. So make sure you are subscribed to see that, because that will be coming up soon. But as for this stereo and this head unit, I did also have another problem, and that other problem actually ended up being every time I turned the ignition off, it was losing memory. And I knew it was something simple, but I couldn't be bothered. I was waiting until I went to see Matt. So I went to see Matt over the weekend. Yesterday, in fact, it was. I went to see him, and we pulled the stereo out, and he went, oh yeah, you've just got the permanent live and the ignition live. They just need swapping around. So yeah, happy days. That's all done now. I'm glad I took it over to Matt to sort that out. He also cleared, we went onto the VCDS, and we cleared any faults that were in the vehicle, fixed since I've had the vehicle. And I've not actually got VCDS myself. So whenever I do VCDS stuff, it's always round Matt's using his equipment. So yeah, and we also reset the service light because the vehicle's recently been serviced, I think about 500 miles ago. So all of that's been done, and the car is now spot on. I'm really happy with it, and we need to get on with the van. So over winter, while the van's off the road, we will be getting on with it. And yeah, new head unit will be to start off with, and then we will be getting the tool, a time cert tool, from Worth, so that we can fix the diesel idler on the pump timing. So that diesel idler, I don't know if you recently know, but it kind of cross-threaded and come out. I've bodged it in for the temporary purposes, so I can still move the vehicle, but I don't really want to trust it. So yeah, I'll be getting the time cert, and we'll be getting that sorted, and that will also be coming up over the next few months when I get round to it through this horrible weather that we're having. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.